All right. I'm just documenting a few things that trades that work and trades that don't work. This was a really good one today because it follows auction market theory and some order flow logic. What we're looking at is a 30-minute chart of S&P 500 futures, the ES contract. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a composite volume profile. So that's basically going to show us two things. It's going to show us in light blue where the market transacted, where buyers and sellers came to an agreement of price. And the white space in between them is called a low volume node. And that's where price basically either traversed very quickly through it. There weren't a lot of people interested in doing business there, or the price rejected and went the other way. So what I do is I'll outline the low volume nodes because those are decision points. Something very often happens there at a low volume node. So I'll do something like this where I'll just sort of print a kind of like a little rectangle, and I'll make it global so that I can see it on all of my charts. And then I'll go to a 5-minute chart where we can get a little bit more detail. And we'll start there. Okay, so there's that purple box. We know where it is. This is just something that I do, but we know where it is. Right here. It's at. It starts at 67.20. Call it 67.24. I'll just get rid of it. Okay. So this was the action yesterday. So you have this vertical line. Everything to the left is yesterday, prior day, and you can see that yesterday was just sort of a ripper. Went straight up, and the top line is the value area high. Bottom line is the value area low. 70% of volume was transacted in between these two levels. And if you fast forward to today, if the market opens up inside of the prior day value area, there's a really good chance that it'll just simply rotate through it until it tries to find new value. So in pre-market, we swept the high of the value area high once, twice, and then at 9:30 a third time. Tested it and rejected. So when that happened, I said to myself, okay, well, there's a really interesting set of things that are coming together. You have that macro low volume node that we're rejecting down from. We also have the value area high of the prior day that we are rejecting down from. And we had this crazy pump yesterday, and I thought I was just bearish. I thought the market was overextended, and even if the market wanted to go higher, which eventually it did, it need to go lower first. It need to basically build some energy and find some liquidity a little bit further below before popping up. And I don't know if I just said this, but anyway, once the market is pulled into a value area, typically it'll ping pong between the high and the low. All right, so that was my thesis, is that we were overextended, we were at a macro low volume node, and we were rejecting into the prior day value area, and so there was a high probability that we'd rotate all the way through it. All right, so that was the thesis, and once this happened very early at 9:30 this morning, 9:35, I looked for a trigger. So I mean, you could just go short once this happens, but I look for a little bit more confirmation on the order flow. So let me bring up a very detailed 1,000. That was a 5-minute chart we were just looking at. This is a very detailed tick chart with lots of stuff going on. And let me just kind of do that. So this chart is divided into a couple different sections. This is price. So this was the two overnight sweeps of the value area high. The regular trading hours rejection of it, and what I looked for was a bounce and then a lower high to be formed. And once that lower high is formed, I'll look at a couple of things. I'll show you what they are. The first thing that I'll look for is either stacked imbalances or absorption. They're going to amount to the same thing. Basically, it's just telling you that there's in this case we're seeing kind of the way I think of it is I'm looking at this as being aggressive sellers. I know the line is green, but aggressive sellers that are taking control of the tape and pushing the market the market down. You can also see that through absorption, right? So I have an absorption indicator that basically shows me that kind of the opposite, where we're seeing aggressive buyers being absorbed by passive sellers. And so I look for the lower high, and then I'll look for some type of order flow confirmation in terms of absorption or stacked imbalances. So we got that. And the other thing this is basically what sold me. So once I saw this, I was ready to go. I also noticed this. The chart that you see at the bottom here is cumulative volume delta. So it's basically the balance between aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. In a healthy trending market, price follows delta to a T, and it kind of looks like it is, right? It's going up and it's going up. But if you really look in a lot more detail, notice this high over here, price high, is all the way down here, right? So the price is all the way up there. It makes a high. And then on the way back down, when we get the lower high, cumulative volume delta makes a higher high. So you have a divergence between CVD and price. And when you see that, again, we already know it's happening. I have an absorption indicator specifically showing me absorption. But it's cool also to see it maybe on another level or on another chart, getting you sort of a different lens or confirmation of the same thing. But you're basically seeing absorption here. In other words, you're seeing really aggressive buyers trying to push the market up more aggressively, but they're not getting rewarded for it because obviously price is coming down. So aggressive buyers have their foot on the gas trying to make the market go up, but there's some mystical seller that's basically pushing the market down, and that's why you're getting the divergence between what's actually happening in terms of price versus the interaction between buyers and sellers. So anyway, long story short, this was my trigger. I saw this, I jumped in because, like I said, we had confluences from the top down and from a macro low volume node rejection perspective down all the way through the sweep of the value area high, the absorption and the stacked imbalances and the CVD divergence. This was like an A+ setup. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, let me just turn off. We'll just go back to the 5-minute chart to show you the value areas. Sometimes when you get this kind of signal, a couple of things might happen a couple of things might occur to you in terms of where you would place your target. The target could be conservatively, it could be the point of control, the prior day point of control, which is right here. That didn't really make any sense. We were basically already at that. And depending on how aggressive the selling is that you're getting, and how overextended the market is. So there's obviously a little bit of input that you have to make over here from your own perspective. You have to basically make a judgment call. My judgment call was that we were super overextended, and I thought we could actually get a full value area rotation. So I actually this was a sick trade. Pat myself on the back. But I actually set my take profit all the way down here at the value area low because I thought, again, we could probably get that rotation all the way through. So I set my TP there, and I actually even added a contract on the way down because I saw that it was just selling off so unbelievably quickly, and there was really nothing in the way. Like in terms of overnight, there was nothing in the overnight that would stop it in terms of volume or what have you, previous absorption levels, that sort of thing. And once it hit the prior day value area high, it rebounded, and basically it's been going ever since. This would have also been a fantastic trade, by the way, the reversal of this. So once it hit the value area high and accepted, probably found some, did we? No. Stacked imbalances. I could probably see it on the tick chart. On the tick chart would probably show us a whole bunch of stacked imbalances at the bottom here to signal the reversal, but I didn't take that. I took the way down. Anyway, so that was the just documenting the thought process and the things that I did well and all that sort of thing. Today was a sick trade. I think this was like a 40-point trade that I grabbed. So yeah, that's the idea. Let me know if you have any questions. Take it easy.